Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching a 100. This episode 8 of the 6th season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far, and if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So very interesting last episode. It was pretty much mainly only Clark inside of, obviously, Josephine's mind. Now the interesting thing is we got the original Josephine back in her body, and they pretty much, they say this town's not big enough for the two of us, pretty much was the concept of the whole episode. And they was both trying to fight, obviously, for who should be the person to take control of Clark's body. Now, Josephine was saying that inside of her, there's core memories. She's been through it before, and, you know, there's been loads of holes that she's gone in, and sometimes it hasn't completely worked, you know, the mind transfer completely. And from her experience, the holes deteriorates rapidly, and they end up dying anyway, and her dad pulls her out and puts her into a new body. Now, again, you know what I mean? Clark's fought her, scrapping, had a fight. She won the first battle, smashed her head against a door, killed her, murdered. It was really decent, to be fair. And then, but she just respawned, mate. She come back through the door. She was like, look, mate, you know, I'm the one that's dreaming. I took a sedative. You know what I mean? I'm down for a couple of hours. I've got all day. I can't actually die, but you can. So you've got one option, really. You know, tell me where it is, and you could die peacefully, or we could kill you. Do you know what I mean? Now, she's gone in search for it. She's gone into a couple of the rooms. Prior to this, obviously, Clark was in there. She met Ali. Ali was talking about it, and she was saying, you know what, right, utilised Ali pretty good last episode. She was talking about, you know, how everybody else have been controlled by the chip, and then how they turned back to normal, and how it was different between Raven and obviously Abby. And if she figures out, Josephine, how that actually happened, then she'll be able to do the same thing to them. She'll be able to EMP it, shock it, remove Clark from the mind completely. And she ended up taking a memory off the wall, turn it into a chip, and give it Clark, who pocketed it. Now, what I actually really enjoyed as well is the costumes. Every time Clark went into a room, she was a different type of Clark. She was either like season 1, season 2, season 3, do you know what I mean? She had the short hair in this season, then she had her long hair, do you know, like with the mohawk through in the coat in Ali's season. We had another one where she was back with a grey top at the start when we seen her in episode 1, colouring in on the floor. It was very good. All episode, like I said, they've been fighting. She's tried to take full control of her body completely and eliminate Clark. Now, at the end of the day, you know, she hunted her down. She was consistently going for it, and Clark ended up, you know, giving up free power pretty much. You know, she found a place where Clark had stored this chip so that she couldn't have it. But the fact is, she hit her with a core memory. You know, she hurt her in the heart. Do you know what I mean? She was like, look, Clark was like, my friends, family, Bellamy, and everybody, they'll come, they'll fight for me. She was like, will they? Well, you know, you have your drawings, I have my books. Here's a memory, I don't lie. Give it her. It was when Bellamy cut a deal with Russell. But the interesting thing is, for me personally anyway, if you listen to it, Bellamy was saying, look, mate, we'll cut a deal and save our people because this is the deal that Clark would have taken. Now, Clark's obviously, you know, got emotional. She was like, fine, do you know what I mean? If they don't really want me, if they're not going to fight for me, then I'll just give up, you know. If they're going to have peace, if they're going to have a place that's been built for them, a place where they can live, and, you know, happily ever after, so to speak, and Maddie up is safe, and she'll be able to go to school, then yes, okay, I'll give her the chip. That's exactly what she wanted her to do, do you know what I mean? So easy to manipulate. She went straight for the jugular, and she got it as well. I would say, mate, it's like in real life when people try and get you to do things that you don't want to, and they start playing on the strings and try and like force you to do things because obviously they start playing on the mind and the heart. You should always have that decision. I wasn't going to do it anyway. I'm not going to do it now. No matter what you say, it's going in one ear and out the other. But no, Clark fell for it. Give her a chip. She was like, I promise to keep your family and friends safe. And the interesting thing is, when she was sat back content into a little room waiting to die, Monty turned up. He was like, look, mate, this is not what I envisaged. This isn't the Clark that I know, a fighter. You are quitting right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to go at this. We need to attack, and we need to make sure that your friends and family are safe. Yeah, well, she's promised that she'll keep them all safe. Did she, though? You know, is it safe when they build them a society to live, but they got no resources, no technology, no food? They're going to have to come up. They're going to have to be slaves to the primes. Do you know what I mean? Is that really worth a life that's worth living? You know what I mean? Clark's thinking, you know, what's going on? He's managed to get around on the sides. Like, look, mate, she can walk into your memories. Let's walk into hers. So they went through her door. They went in there. Clark was watching, going through some of her memories. He ended up hacking the door, and he went in, and it was a place pretty much like Clark where she was too scared to go in, where she found her memory of the lockbox, and the chip was obviously this is now Josephine's. It was a situation where a guy that used to fancy her, I don't know if they used to date or whatever, but was making an advance, and she kind of like shut him down, and he was upset about it, whipped a gun out and shot himself literally in front of her. Do you know what I mean? That was crazy, but Clark realised that being in this place here is her weak spot, and obviously she's coming, she's fighting her, she's scrapping, and as she's woke up back into the present Josephine, thinking that, yes mate, now I'm awake, I've got the memory of obviously getting this chip and frying the mind and eliminating Clark for good, Clark also knows that she can get back into that room and she can take control of the body. So as they've come in and Russell's cutting his deal with Bellamy, you know, Josephine's come in and stood there and she's buzzing and she's thinking that she can't wait for it to happen. Clark's she's doing that, mate. She's Morse coding it. She's tapped that she's alive to Bellamy, who's wrote it down on a notepad, who's gone outside and shown Miller, and now he knows. Whatever deal that he's going to cut, he's going to stall. I believe he's going to try and prolong it, drag it out, do whatever, but he knows that Clark is actually alive, and now it's going to be interesting to see. Can't wait to see what he does, and what Maddie does, and what Octavia does to try and survive as well. It's going to be interesting, because they're still on the outside. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Welcome to the Verge. Don't worry, you'll never get used to the sound.
The old man cures you, and then you put a bullet in his brain. Look at us finishing each other's thoughts. Turn into an old married couple.
In it.
Who's the girl?
Oh, yo, is that Gabriel? Imagine.
You can tell by the picture.
You know what happens during the red sun? The anomaly has a similar effect on the plants here. Only it's constant and weirder. You do not want to be armed. And I won't take you if you are.
How about these? There's about 50 different ways I can kill you with them. Who are you?
It's starting to reach her brain.
It's me.
Octavia's hair's mad this season. Two serpents.
On garden.
You're experiencing memories. Things you don't quite understand.
I'm saying he's Gabriel,
You
me.
look pretty good for an old man.
Knew it. I knew it, because his hair's grey again a little bit.
Saw the scar.
Where do you think you're going?
To the anomaly? Time to find out what it wants with you.
Reckon she's going to throw it in a basket?
I got a bad feeling about this. We're ready for you.
The glory and grace and the primes.
For the glory and grace of the primes.
Is he sacrificing himself? I thought he was going to take a bone marrow.
Can I talk to Abby alone, please? You said we came here to save Kane, but you left out how.
Like murdering that man out there and shipping Kane into
Gavin, come with me. It's not murder, Raven. It's sacrifice.
Ma'am, it's okay. You're giving me a gift.
I want him to all to die, me. I do.
So much for first do no harm.
Innit? I'm disappointed in you, Abby. This is no different from everybody else doing bad decisions.
So, how do we do it?
I would have to, do you know, if I was cutting a deal, I'd have to keep it an asset. Like, I would have to say, many of us could possibly do this procedure, but you ain't knowing how. Your people here on this planet ain't knowing how. We need to keep some advantage over you. We need to make sure that you promise to do the stuff that you do. Do you know what I mean? Basically, for our own sanity and well-being, knowing that we're going to be well looked after, we will do these procedures for you, but we will do the procedures, not you. You will know nothing about the information, none of the serums, nothing how it's done. We need to become an asset. Once we're the asset, we're looked after, then we can have a building relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't put all your cards on the table. You can't give them all the information, because as soon as they take it, you're indispensable, and then you can get killed.
She's back in her cage. I just need to stay awake long enough for Priya to build something to generate the EMP. I just need you to finish what you started. We nuke the neural mesh with the EMP, and then we put it back in. Problem solved.
A chance to erase this sin. Give Clark her body back to put you in a willing host.
If we bring her back, she'll kill us all.
I hope so.
Not if we do the right thing. When the universe gives you a second chance, you take it.
Yeah, she's gonna waste it for her own little agenda and personality. Do you know what I mean?
The transport ship lands. We'll be waiting in the field with Josephine. If they don't open the shield, let us out.
If they don't, Josephine dies.
We start asking questions and the primes figure out what
They
we
can't
know.
figure it out if they're dead. Once we kill the primes, we take over Sanctum. We saved Clark here, in the lab that was built for it.
We're not killing Delilah.
Delilah's already dead, but what we do know is I'm the commander. Echo thinks it's a good plan.
She does.
Don't you, Spy?
She does, mate.
If we were willing to kill all of their people along with them, when they come after us, we're killing their god.
We are.
No, we're not.
That's interesting, that, actually. You know, I forgot about Murphy, to be honest. He's got the chips in it. He's not given it a Mori yet. This might be the encounter here, how she first reacts. It'll be interesting. But also, the Dark Commander, right? He looks like the guy from Pentatonics. Is that the band? You know, they do on the YouTube, like the beatboxing and the singing and that? Daft Punk cover. He's sick, mate. Honestly, it is. He looks like him. He reminds me of him anyway. But I'm liking it. Echo, I could see it. Echo's down with it, you know. Couple of kills here and there. Full on savage mode. Let's go for it.
Come on outside. I want to show you something.
They killed Clark. How can you be okay with that? You said you made a deal with them. What I want to know is what's in it for you.
You know, I really want to do this on a balcony overlooking a brand new world. But...
Hey, this is pretty good, actually. I like how it's a proposal.
John?
And Maury, I love you. And look, I know I've never been perfect or even close. And we've been through so much and survived so much.
What are those?
Mind drives. We'll never die. So what do you say? Think you can love me forever?
Adorable.
Why are you getting in the way there? What is this, the answer?
Riker, get down here! Not sure where to start. How about the fact that you're living in the machine shop and not the palace?
It's Clark, right?
Unfortunately, the answer to that is not a straight up no. I need your help getting your friend out of, well, her own head. I feel us coming together as a team already, don't you?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Murphy makes a different decision now. He could get his loyalty back by turning up to them and saying Clark's alive. I understand they know that Clark's already alive. You Bellamy and that, they figured it out themselves. But if he turns up with the information and says, look, mate, you know, I did make an error of my ways. I thought that Clark was dead and I took that play. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was the best thing for us to do. Like I said, I give people a bit of leeway when they think it's the best thing. Sometimes you look at them and they're just doing it out of selfishness and they're not really thinking objectively. But like, if you firmly believe that doing this would be the best for not just himself but for everybody, then do you know what? Bit of leeway there. But if you want to get on the right side, I would go back and I would tell them that I know this. I personally think that he's gonna do better later on, but I feel like Amori might be the first person that gives a bit of info.
How about we pass the time by you telling us how someone dedicated to the destruction of the immortal primes took a new body?
I left Sanctum, but Sanctum didn't leave me. It means I still had the drive in my head, but no one to remove it. I eventually taught someone. Unfortunately, once he learned to perform the procedure, he refused. By then, Xavier was born. He had the blood. Eduardo believed there was a sign. When my last body died, he finally wiped Xavier and brought me back. So I resurrected and realized what he did. I killed him in a fit of rage. I was trying to take down a system dedicated to the worship of false gods. I became a false god all over again. Understand?
Hey, that was pretty good, that, actually, what he's just said there.
Did she see me, or...?
Is he scared?
She can, John. How does that make you feel?
She's lying. Inside both minds are simultaneously conscious. She won't be able to speak, let alone stand.
So what do we use to channel the pulse to her brain?
The wristband. They clamped it on Raven's wrist before blasting her with the EMP.
We'll be right back.
I approve.
Wanna lead your shock collar. You okay?
Bellamy.
Yes, I knew she was going to spill. I said she'd be the first one, didn't I?
Clark's alive. You already knew. Why didn't you tell me? Because I'm with John. What are you doing about it?
Where the hell's Maddie?
She hasn't got an army yet, Maddie. Her people are not resurrected. Yes, Maddie. Yes, Maddie. Oh, yes. I'm fucking game for this.
The glory and grace of the prime.
See, I'm game for that, honestly. I always say kids ascending to the top. They're the best, you know. They actually are. They can be annoying, Joffrey, for example. But, like, I just love seeing it happen. Like, I really, really do. It's great stuff. And I'm all for, yeah, attacking people that pose as a threat as an enemy. Not just a random Joe Blogs in the street. Now, this is different, obviously, because it's not supernaturals, but quite a lot in supernatural programs, innocents get hit, and that's not, like, to me, I wouldn't choose that. I would choose any threat. You could go through it. And, like, these people here, they might not be doing, you know, the procedures and taking over bodies, but they know it's happening. They're taking part in it themselves. They are kind of part of the people that want to just use everybody from the art. Do you know what I mean? They want to get the technology, get the procedures, utilize it themselves. There's no guarantee that they're going to give them a safe, sustainable living society, place, bunker, whatever you want to call it, force field to live in. None of this is for their benefit. It's all for me. So obviously the people here on this planet, once they get their resources, there's no telling what they're going to do with everybody else. And if do you know what I mean? As far as Maddie's concerned, they went after Clark, they killed her. She's figured out today that obviously she's alive, but they still done that job. They attempted it, and all she wants to do is take over. We don't need a new police building. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't want this. We don't want that. What we do want is a land that's already ready and prep for us to come in. And I'm going to kill every person that's here. Yes, he's got the Dark Commander here, but I don't care, because if he's going to get her to doing mad shit like that, I'm game. Sabby?
If you had the chance to bring back someone you love, would you?
Not if it meant killing other people.
Kill someone to do it.
Yeah, that's just standard.
Raven, if we don't do this, Marcus dies too. Then that man who sacrificed his life for him.
Stop!
He'll hate you for it.
Well, I hated him for his decision.
I am not doing this for me. Get out. I'll take the spacewalk myself.
She's going to be manipulated into feelings to do it. Yeah, hope she dies if she does it.
You'll be a god, John. They'll write songs about you. You'll only get old if you want to, and you'll never die. How are we doing over there?
Yeah, all set, actually.
If I don't come back, Jade has a letter from my father about how you let Gabriel go.
She took the EMP.
You're not just going to cut it out of your head.
The offer still stands for the next 10 seconds.
Please just let me talk to her, okay?
I'm so sorry it had to be like this.
Nothing needs to change. We can go back right now. I told her not to tell the guards about any of this.
That's what we were counting on.
So unless one of you is a neurosurgeon, this body will die in hours.
Our neurosurgeon's on his way.
True. Let's say that he figures it out. He won't, but just for fun. Where are you gonna operate?
Thinking about using one of the 14 research outposts marked on the map your father gave us.
Well, it's too bad you can't get past
Yeah, they're dominating her.
Well, that's where the EMP comes in.
Sorry, John. Step away from the device.
Surely somebody else is there with weapons to shoot Clark. He said that he was going to save Murphy and Amora, Bellamy. I'm counting on it. I feel like he is going to. No matter what happens, he is one of them. They spent time on the ring. Do you know what I mean? They survived on the ground together. They've been through it. Through it all, mate. Like he was saying in his little proposal to Amora. We have got through the tough times. So again, you know, I mean, big play from her, pulling that scalp out, putting it to his neck, you know, you got to do it. She's on the last legs. She was well cocky then. Yeah, unless you got a neurosurgeon. Yeah, we do though. Well, unless you're going to have a lab, well, again, we do. Well, you're not going to get through the radiator. Well, we are going to, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, she thought she was sick and got dominated. So it's going to be interesting now. Oh, she chose the right target, didn't she? Knowing that the children of Gabriel.
It wasn't the children of Gabriel. Bring me the people from Earth. Get Bree and Reich into the Great Hall and sound the alarm.
That can't be good for you.
Find Gabriel. He was one of them, but then he bailed. Riker helped him escape.
Much for forever.
Take Clark. I'll stay and keep the others safe. When the ship gets back, we'll find you. It's down! Go!
Stay with him. Go find our friends.
We have to go. John.
Hey, yes.
I love you forever.
Everyone out!
Oh, he's killed Jordan.
I'm a doctor.
I don't think he's dying, right? And do you know why? This is honestly, this is the reason why. Is that his name's in the starting credits now, Shannon Hook. You know what I mean? Like, I seen that name, it was new this season. I was like, who the hell's that? It's him. And there's no way that he's getting a starting credit in this show if he's only going to be in it for 8 episodes. That can't be happening unless he's got some next level manager, mate, with some sick negotiating skills. So again, it's going to be interesting. I do feel like he's going to survive, but maybe Priya gives him a bit of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he did save her. But then again, what are the chances that a mind transfer doesn't work on 2 people? When she was in Clark's memory last episode, she was saying, I've seen this happen before. It doesn't always happen. Do you know what I mean? It's basically, they was like, it's just a random thing. But like having it on 2 continuously people, you know, her and him, her and Clark, sorry. Do you know what I mean? It's too obvious that, but you know what? For the good of the show, let's hope she's alive because he actually like really wants to be with her.
You pre-breathe pure O2 before suiting up? If not,
She's gonna do it for her.
could kill you.
Raven, I'm doing this.
No, you're not.
I'm doing it. I hope this is a catalyst for Abby to change her mind and not help everybody.
Sometimes it's your darkest fear, sometimes your deepest desire, sometimes it's both at once.
Her child, of course.
She's not there. If you go in there, you'll die. I don't know what it means, or if it's real. I just know I have to go.
Oh, she's actually gone in. Oh, she's gone in as well. Wait, what? No one who's gone in's ever come out. She comes out instantly and she's healthy. Right, what's going on there? What is going on there? This guy's lived for 200 years, yeah? Nobody who's ever walked in there has ever come out, and Octavia does it instantly, just like that. That's just like I was saying a second ago when she was saying the procedure, you know, not often do they mess up. Hardly ever. Sometimes you get the occasional one where somebody's strong and can fight it, and we get 2 in a row. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe it. I mean, it's obviously a show, so I accept it, but it don't make sense, and that clearly doesn't. If he's lived for that long and never seen anybody come out, how's she just gone in and come out instantly? Now what's happened to Diosa? I wanted to come out with a kidney. Do you know what I mean? Like, no longer having a big belly, slimmer again, baby in hand, walking out, loving it.
They're not all bad, Russell. Delilah's boyfriend saved my life.
For that, we'll do what we can to save his.
Talk about their motive. Zeus looks like he has something to say. Josephine.
The one with the blood.
Russell and Simone murdered her.
You jumped the line.
How many are with Josephine?
They're not talking.
We'll see about that. Put them with the others. Get their guns. Distribute them to the guards. Do whatever it takes to bring my daughter home.
As the primes are my witness, I'll bring her back.
That is the least thing, I believe.
I'll leave you two alone.
Wow, Kane's in that body. What the hell? Does look like a younger Kane. Now he can see himself. He knows that's his arm. Well, this guy seems massive. Look how big he is. It's interesting, that one, isn't it? How would you react? Like, truthfully, right, I couldn't give a shit, right, if I woke up tomorrow in a better looking body. I couldn't care. It's not as if I give a shit about this one that I'm in now. Do you know what I mean? This is a card that I've been dealt, mate. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, whether I'm good looking or ugly, life's giving me this body, I've got it. But if life's going to give me another one when I'm dying, and it's a better one, I'm not going to be complaining. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, if I was dying, stabbed in the neck, I was bleeding out on the bed there, next time I woke up, I was in a much improved 2.0 body. Do you know what I mean? I was better looking, musclier, younger. I won't be complaining. Now, obviously, in terms of finding out how everything's going on, do you know what I mean? Are you taking a life in X, Y, and Z and all that? There's morals that come into it, and obviously I might be against it, but in terms of aesthetically and, like, knowing that somebody saved me, I'd have to be thankful and angry at the same time. That's what it would be. That's the same as Abby in that situation where she was saved by Kane inside of the, you know, the bunker. She didn't want her name to be in the lottery. He wanted it to be in. You know, when he gassed him, he kept her. She's key essential personnel. I'll always agree with it that she was an asset that had to be kept. And he did do that. Now, obviously, she's lived and she's gone through it being grateful and resentful at the same time. And that's how you would be. You would wake up and you'd be grateful that you're alive and you got another day to breathe and live and enjoy. But you'd be obviously resentful of the lives that you're taking. And do you know what I mean? And the innocent men that have died, obviously, before you, so you could take their body. So it's interesting, you know, the old man and the anomaly. That's what this episode was called. It was, you know, I thought it was good that Gabriel is actually that guy that saved him. Kind of clocked it as we went into his little shed thing or whatever, and it had the picture of Josephine up there. You know, I was thinking it was him. They've gone in, they've seen people, do you know what I mean? I don't even know what an anomaly is. I'm not even going to lie. It's something that's just random. Like, I'm not like clued up, but they've gone in, they've started hallucinating, seeing things. You know, Octavia's hair was well with, you know what I mean? It's all like frizzy and braid, frizzy and like afro-y style, like this episode. And like, obviously she was deteriorating. She was seeing things, she seen Bellamy melt down, she was crying. Diosa, she's seen a kid, she's pulling her into it, you know what I mean? And he's seen Josephine as well. Now they've gone there, he's blatantly said, mate, anybody that's gone in there, I've never seen them come out. Within 5 seconds of that, Octavia's ran in and come back out. Just take it what it is, but, you know what I mean? That's strange. But she's cured. She looked younger, her hair was straighter, her arm was better. We didn't see Diosa come out of it, which again is going to be interesting. But he explained his story. Do you know what I mean? So yes, obviously, you know, he was part of a cause. The thing is, they can't blame him for being part of the original, like, build of that world. Do you know what I mean? They kind of tried to use it against him, or Josephine did, like... And he was saying, look, mate, I was part of it, and then I realised what they was using it for, realised that you shouldn't be worshipping false gods, and I decided not to be part of it anymore. That's kind of like you being part of a project now. Let's go and build a house or something. You know what I mean? Your intention was good, you're building it, you want to make loads of houses, but then you start using slave labour, and you start getting people in, young kids, you know, old men, people dying and stuff like that, and then... you change your mind, no longer want to be part of this. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I was a founding member, but I don't like the direction we've gone, the reasons why we're doing it. I no longer want to be associated with it anymore. And now I move to the other side, which is away from them, and I try to take people out. Do you know what I mean? I try to save those. That's what he's trying to say anyway. Now, yes, okay, you could flip it and say, well, hang on, mate, if you don't want to be part of that cause, that was 200 years ago, how are you not dead now then? And then he explained it. He said, look, mate, you know, I got a friend, he had a kid. You know, I got a friend who did a procedure on there. I've done it. Then he had a kid, then he decided not to, but then he died, and then I died or whatever, and I moved myself into his body, and then I woke, and then I was fuming that he resurrected me when I didn't want him to, and then I killed him in the last rage. So, I don't know. They kind of lay it out. It made sense. Kind of understand it. Now I know why he's alive. Still would like to know how they feed in the earth, to be honest. You know, the people that was there... Oh, wait. That woman there... who's just said, by the primes be my witness, I will get her back. Last time we seen her, she was being left by Echo on the floor in the tree. Now, I understand Echo said I'll be back, but we never actually seen that. That's pretty disappointing. It is. It actually is now, thinking about it. You know, because this episode, I was like, where is she? Do you know what I mean? How's Clark? You know, doing X, Y, and Z, and she's not around. But now, you know, I'm thinking about it. Last time we seen her, she was at the tree. What is that tree for? Why are they feeding the earth? Why was that kid lay there this episode? Why was the guy last episode there that Octavia seen, that she said that he was willing to go there? I mean, that Echo scene that he said that was willing to go there, and then she went in and she hit him over the head with a rock when he said, show me mercy. What's going on there? But overall, I think it's really fascinating. And you can see that Russell has, like, shifted away from, instead of it being... like a thing that they all follow and like a rule that they go down, so to speak, he's gone his own personal agenda. And once you start your own personal agendas, there's no way going back, because people don't always follow it on your side. You know what I mean? Right now, people worshipping these gods because they believe that they are gods, and they've been blessed and fed this information all of their life to believe that's the right way, and people are volunteering themselves. Once you step off that path and start doing it for personal gain, people are going to start questioning it. So it's going to be interesting. And do you know what? Do you know what I mean? Bellamy and only Clark are on that other side now, and Josephine. So she's pretty strong, Clark. You know, she could overfight Bellamy, but he's taking her to an outpost. I don't know how they're going to do the procedure, I'm not going to lie. Unless they get, you know, Gabriel to do it. That is the only thing I'm thinking about now. You know, they needed Jackson, he couldn't get there, the alarms went off. Gabriel's the next best solution. So thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Murphy kind of proposed to Amora, didn't they? You know, it's different than a ring. It was like, let's have a chip. But she never rejected it. She was interrupted, but I liked what was going on there. Do you know what I mean? He's done everything for her. He's a cockroach. He's willing to do whatever it takes to survive. But I knew as soon as he found out that Clark was still alive, I could see it triggering in him. And I did actually call that Amora would be the first person to do something that would help them over, obviously, Murphy, and then it turns out both of them done it in this episode, which was really good to see. You know, she's gone back to get some tech that could help do the procedure and obviously fry her brain, but she's ended up bouncing after telling Bellamy that she knows she's alive. Bellamy said that we didn't tell you that she was alive because of your connection to John, which is understandable. I like how Amori kind of understood that and was just like, yeah, whatever, you know, tell us a plan of how to go forward. I think Echo's all game for fighting like Maddie me, but we'll get onto Maddie in a minute. And obviously, she's created this EMP and they've bounced. It was part of their plan. The procedure is going to happen today. We need to interrupt it. We need to stop it. Now, obviously, she's ran. Clark and Murphy have gone after him. Now, obviously, Murphy saying, look, mate, you know, this is our chance to live forever. Don't you want that? Do you know what I mean? And he was saying some truthful stuff. Clark was willing to put you in a box and burn you, kill you. Do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't really care for you. We do. Do you know what I mean? I do. This is for us. Now, again, you know what I mean? She's like, I'm sorry, John. This isn't the best way. We're going to have to save Clark, and I'm still going through with it. You know, she's pulled a knife out to him. She's obviously shown that she still loves him, he cares for him. She's stopped doing the EMP, but Murphy's come round and he's explained some of the information that obviously he learned about, obviously, Josephine and Clark and how she's still alive and etc. That would benefit Bellamy, which is really good because then he's showing that he's kind of on their side. But he kind of jumps sides, he does. But it fits John's character. It's nothing out of the ordinary, do you know what I mean? It fits him well, so I have no problem with it. And obviously he's been stabbed in his leg. Clark obviously has been grabbed by Bellamy, and P's gone off. He's dragged her through the freight, and you know, like the radiation thing, and now they're on the other side. So again, it's going to be really interesting. He said there's 14 outposts. What are the odds that he's going to go to one where Gabriel is, you know what I mean, and Octavia? They're going to reunite. But again, that's going to be interesting to see if they can go through with it. Now, Russell's intention at the start of the episode was good because he didn't actually want to kill Clark. You know, it's Josephine. She's got her own little agenda, do you know what I mean? She's the savage one. She doesn't really care. And, like, she's like, just kill Clark, sack it, and I'll take this body. He's like, look, mate, you know, if this Nightblood solution works, if Abby's be able to do it with your mum and we'll be able to create more hosts, then we could say both of you, which is good. His intention was never to actually eliminate one. His intention's always been bring Josephine back. But Josephine, do you know what I mean? She's not really got the same mindset as him. And she's just mad, isn't she? She actually is. And, like, she just wanted to kill Clark today. But granted, her brain is deteriorating. Now, talking about killing me, let's love Maddie. You know, Maddie's sick, isn't she? You know, she is the commander. She hasn't really got anybody on the side now, but she's got the dark commander there, and he's trying to feed her information. But she went for it. She killed 2 today. She went for another one, stabbed Jordan. Again, interesting. Don't think he's going to die for the reason that I said. You know, his name's got put as a main character in the start of the intro, and I don't feel like he's been in it enough so far. Only episode 8, you know what I mean? If we are going 13, I think that's still what well, it's got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in it, mate. 5 more to go, so there's still loads that he can still do. And they've got this Priya storyline still going on, which again I would think is a bit strange that Russell's failed 2 procedures in a row to successfully do the transfer when we've been doing it for 200 years with minimal fails. But you know, we'll take it, we'll move. And I knew that Raven was going to do this thing for Abby, do you know what I mean? Like, the fact is, it's just another person that's going to die if she doesn't actually go out there. But again, she's kind of like, she hasn't been forced, but she's kind of been like manipulated and feelings been brought into it. This is where I was saying, where you have to just make a decision. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to help these people. I'm not doing a spacewalk. I'm not letting them sacrifice more lives. You know what I mean? Think about it. Doing this could take hundreds of lives. Letting Abby die would just take Abby's life. Now, even though you like Abby, X, Y, and Z, you fell out of her right now. Do you know what I mean? She's fell into the trap, she's done it, and now look at it. Kane's been resurrected, he's seen his body, stamp on his arm where he's part of the 13th clan, no longer, he's in a younger skin. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts. And I want to know if we actually move forward with the new Kane, or if somehow we get the old Kane back, because is his body dying now? Like, he's took out of it? Like, is it dead? You know what I mean? Can it be re-brought back? I don't think it can. Like, it wouldn't look like it anyway. It's different to Clark. Clark's still in the memory. Kane's physically taken out and put into another body while his other one's dying right here. So I have no idea, mate, but I'm excited to see what happens. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.